Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode of my YouTube channel. I'm very giddy today and excited. I don't know why. So, yes, this is In Your Shoes, and I'm Malin Oluchi. Thank you for tuning on, watching the last episode. I keep saying tuning in as if you're tuning into a radio station or a TV show, but it's not live. But thank you for watching. And a couple of people reached out after the last episode. Thank you so much for that. And we're looking forward to doing a lot more. So yes, first of all, let me just categorically state, content creation is hard work. Now, see, have you noticed that almost all of us were all content creators? Like, people are creating content for their business. You see the dressmaker creating content, even something as small as looking for how she would design her dresses on the mannequin. It's content. People are using virtual spaces. Like all of us here, we're using the virtual spaces. We're talking about the work we do. We're creating content around the services we offer. People who are selling goods are creating content to market their goods. Even the posts you make, it's all content creation. In fact, even down to WhatsApp status. See, I've had people contact me from even the fun stuff. Like, it's the people who see the fun stuff you post and then they reach out to you. They remember that, oh, you do this, you do that, because they relate with the fun stuff and it made them laugh or make their day or something, and they now reach out to you for the services you provide, not even on your advert post but on that fun one. So like, we're creating a lot of content, but more, can we first of all admit that content creation is exhausting? It is stressful. First of all, for this YouTube channel now, I didn't want to talk about it in the last episode because, see, it took me like weeks after the first episode before I could even record this one, because I will start thinking of what to wear. Do I make up? Do I not make up? Do I even wear my wig? Do I come with my low coat? Let's leave the content creation part of what to even talk about. Like, okay, what will interest people? What do I think people want to listen to? What do I think will make impact the way I want to make impact? Do I want to make people laugh? Do I want to make people cry? Like, there is just so much to think about and so much to consider for a 5 minute 10 minutes video, for one post of 200-300 words, for even caption for just your products. It's content, and it gets exhausting, it gets tiring, people burn out. So today we'll be talking to a couple of content creators. Yes, thank you for being here. I want to hear, how do you do it? How has it been for you? How do you not burn out? If you burn out, how do you get back your mojo? Like, how does it work for you? I want to know.
Hello, my name is Mbasughun, and I am the host of the Baby God podcast, which is a podcast that documents the life of a young African woman as she eats and reads her way to a PhD in an African country. So today, I will be sharing briefly my creative process. Let's get into it. So, I would say that my creative process has changed over time. At first, it was pretty much a spur of the moment approach. I would be reading something and immediately just go into it and record an episode. But recently, I have gone into a place where I reflect a lot more deeply, and in topic selections, they typically come from the material that I'm reading at school and outside school. And when these ideas come up, I put them out as posts on my WhatsApp, and I get a feel of how people are thinking about these ideas, and I build on what they're saying in terms of just trying to have a conversation with them. Now, I would also say that has grown a bit more recently because currently under production for my third season, and in this season, it is the first time that I'm going to be having people come on and sort of have like an interview or like a conversation with them. And this time, with the topic selection, what I have done is I have gone deep into what these people do based on the conversations that we've had in the past, and I have grown the topics and the episodes based on their natural habitat in line with my primary focus, which is basically African epistemology, whether that means like the theoretical aspect of it, or just like in practical terms, like how we're really surviving as Africans with the ideas that we are running with. Um, I would also say that in terms of balancing, it hasn't been such a problem. It has been pretty much easy to balance because I record first thing in the morning. Before any other thing gets into the way, I just record in the morning. Also, before the noise starts from anywhere, it's the best thing to do. But I would also be honest and say that consistency has been a problem, mostly because there are times where I feel like I am not going to do justice to a particular topic, and I decide to hold off for a while and do a bit more research. But it has been a very, very great journey, and I have really enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to my process.
Hello everyone, this is Duna of Duna Massage. Thank you, Marlene, for having me. So I'll be talking about how I create content for my business. So one of the things that I do is I have a notepad where I write out things I want to talk about. There are times that I write like all I'm going to post about for a week. So on Monday I already know what I'm writing about. On Tuesday I already know what I'm posting about. And there are days I wake up and I don't know what to post about. And on days when I wake up like that and I don't know what to post about, I go through my colleagues' wall, I read their posts. If I see some of their videos that I feel like, okay, the stretch videos that I know will be helpful to my clients and people on my wall, I try to share that. So those are for days when I don't know what to like post about. And then another thing I learned is process. People want to see process, so I try to like make the process a content for my business on its own. I talk about the conversation that myself and my clients will have during their massage therapy. So that's one of the things I do again. Then I post my reviews. And that also helps. Another thing that I do is I try to make content out of trends. When I say like, okay, this is trending, I try to like put in my massage therapy so that it can become a content for others to like read about. And trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy when you have to run a business and then you have to be a content creator as well. But yeah, and there are days that I just feel like, okay, I need to like take a chill, like I don't have anything to post about. So I just joke around topics that might not be related to massage therapy. The most important thing is being present always, so people can always like know that you are there. They can always remember you. You can always be in their subconscious. So yeah, that's what I do for my business.
So, how do I balance creating content for Banji, which is our Whole Foods company, Vita Ivy, which is a personal page where I talk about topics that people find are more interesting and useful to them. My general social media posts on my personal page and wall. Um, my own work. I work as a senior manager for a tech company that is focused on digital transformation, and of course still have a social and personal life. For me, I think one of the phrases that guides my approach is that work expands based on the amount of time you allocate to it. So what I try to do is compartmentalize the tasks that I carry out. So I have a particular day for developing content for Banji. So it may take 4, 5, 6 hours, and I can do multiple contents for Banji, and then of course distribute them as and when required. For Vuitton IV, that's the same thing. I dedicate a particular day where I curate this content, and then I go over it, as often as possible, and then of course push them out as and when required. I actually manage a ton of a number. I don't want to say a ton, a number of other Facebook pages where I create the content for them. Can't talk about them as much, but yes, I do that where I develop this content and then the relevant administrators push them out. One of the approaches of doing this is we tend to automate the processes, because once the processes are automated, then you don't need to allocate the same amount of time to get that function done every time that's needed. In terms of the post I make on social, there are certain topics that I lend my voice to, because I would like to think that I have some idea, either based on personal experience or research or reading and listening to experts. And one of the things I do as well to be able to get content around is to, so when I'm reading a book, or I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm reading some research materials, any topic or any point that catches my interest, I tend to save those for reference later. So I use this tool called Notes, where you can save materials and contents and search for them later based on the topics. So I tend to do that quite often. So I have a lot of materials, and then when there are topics on the timeline that I think I can contribute to, I do that, and then with references to obviously the materials that I have on there. With work, I'm at work I work 40 hours a week, as with any or most full-time workers, sometimes even more. My company is fortunate. We're fortunate, the company I work at, to have global clients, and I've been able to build great relationships with those clients we work with. So we're able to obviously carry out and execute their digital transformation projects where applicable. In terms of social life, it seems to me that most of my friends. So first of all, I come from quite a big family. So I have what I think is a great relationship with my siblings and extended family. So that makes one pool. And then over the years, I've made some really incredible friends, and these friends and I now obviously undertake and execute projects. And because we do this, right, we spend more time together talking about the projects and discussing them, and that's helped form a great bond. So about a dozen friends or so, and then of course my colleagues at work. Before the pandemic, obviously spending time together helped mold a social life. Now with the pandemic, of course, everyone sort of revert to keeping in touch virtually. I think for the most part of last year that was the case. This year I spend as much as I can spend time to hang out with them. I invite friends come to visit and spend time with me, spend weekends, spend days, so we can catch up. And then of course this applies as well to private life, whether it's family or otherwise. You have to find time, I think, because I think at the end of the day, it's important to allocate time to these things, and the time you allocate need not be that huge. But for me, I feel like consistency is always better than volume. So if you're consistent, even if it's a couple of minutes a day, but it's consistent, or a couple of minutes a week, but that's consistent, and I think it shows the degree of importance that you have for those people. So I think in a nutshell, that's how it works for me in terms of balancing creating content for Banji, which is a Whole Foods company. You should check it out. Banji is BANJIE. And then it's Vuton IV. So Vuton, like the luxury brand, and IVY. It's a personal page where I share and talk about topics that I think people find interesting and beneficial to them. And then of course I dabble in a bunch of topics on social, so you should also check out my page as well. I'm sure that there's a number of people that know me.
We've heard from everybody. One would think that with all the years of experience I've had, I'm an all-round content creator. I create content. I've created content for TV. I've created content for radio. I've done copyright. badass copywriter. Of course, I do so much. I create content for comms, for organizations. One would think with everything I do around content, I won't burn out. I won't find it stressful. See, even this YouTube, this episode, like I had to think about it. When I had the idea to talk, when I was thinking about what to talk about, I was not like, wait, this is even it. This is the stress. This is what people go through every day. I've had friends who come to me and be like, Marlene, my business, what do I post about today? I don't know, I'm burnt out. Can you help me with something? See the pictures I want to post. Like, first of all, I want to let you know that you're doing well. The fact that you show up and you still try to do something and like you are in your space, you're talking. See, even meme posters, it's content. We laugh. They create content for us to laugh. Like, I've seen an advert, a job advert, where they were looking for a meme curator, like somebody who just be gathering, curating memes. And the pay was, I don't know if that job advert was real, but the pay was, I was so tempted. It was so enticing. So I just want to, from everything everybody said, I just want you to know that you're doing so well for yourself. It might not seem like it, but just keep being out there, keep putting yourself out there. And I hope the content you create reaches the people who are your target audience. It makes it yields effort. It yields effort. Your efforts yield fruits. Is that it? Yes, your effort yield fruits. Yes, and I really, really pray that what you're targeting as you're creating content, you get it. Right, what you want to achieve with your content, you get to achieve it. If it's sales, if it's monetization, if it's impact, you get to get it. Just keep showing up and you're doing well. Yes, so next time I really, really hope we will talk about the heavy stuff, but I can't promise because life is heavy. So yes, subscribe and please turn on the notification button so that whenever I post the next episode, you will be notified. I love you. Thanks for watching my channel. You might be the next person I'll invite to come and share from your shoes with us about anything. So well, you never can tell. Do have a great week.